evening and welcome to the Grange Hall. Tonight we vote on Senate Constitutional Amendment number 8. This evening's debate will determine women's rights to vote. Speaking for women's suffrage is Mr. H.G. Cattell, Progressive Assembly Speaker from the 67th District, and stating the argument against women's suffrage is Mr. J.B. Sanford, Chairman of the Democratic Caucus. Gentlemen, your opening statements, please. Mr. Cattell, you may go first.
Thank you, Madam. Women should not be subject to taxation without representation any more than men. Women should have equal political rights with men as provided for in Senate Constitutional Amendment number 8, because women are equal to men intellectually. In fact, if we take the number of graduates from our schools and colleges, we must admit that they are farther advanced mentally. And women are recognized in the family as a large part of the governing force. Why should she not be considered in the government of the larger family?
Thank you, Mr. Cattell. Mr. Sanford, you may make your opening statement.
The courageous, chivalrous, and manly men and the womanly women, the real mothers and home builders of the country, are opposed to this innovation in American political life. Suffrage is not a right. It is a privilege that may or may not be granted. Politics is no place for a woman. Consequently, the privilege should not be granted to her.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now you may each make your case, and please keep this brief. We have a lot of show ahead of us. We shall begin with Mr. Sanford.
Thank you, Madam. The mother's influence is needed in the home. Let her teach her daughters that modesty, patience, and gentleness are the charms of a woman. Let her teach her sons that an honest conscience is every man's first political law.
Mr. Sanford, your pocket watch is making a lot of noise.
I was just checking the time. Now let me see, where was I?
You were talking about blurred lines.
Let her teach her sons that an honest conscience is. What the devil's going on?
Mr. Sanford, I'm going to confiscate your pocket watch if you don't turn that bloody thing off.
Take this away from me. I don't know how that got there. As I said before, there is no splendor that can rob the man, nor force him to justify the surrender of the simplest right of a free and independent citizen. The mothers of this country can shape the destinies of the nation by keeping in their places and attending to those duties that God Almighty has intended for them. Thank you. Gentle influence of the mother in the home and the dignified influence of the teacher in the school will far outweigh all the influence of all the mannish female politicians on earth. Women does not have a vote to secure her rights. Man will go to any extreme to protect and elevate her now. And as long as woman is woman and keeps her place, she will get more protection and more consideration than man gets. And when she abdicates her throne, she throws down the scepter of her power and loses her influence. Thank you.
Mr. Cattell, I hope your pocket watch is turned off as well.
Yes, it is. Women are subject to the government as well as men. Women have been given suffrage in numerous countries. We have no knowledge of such action having proved to be a failure. this experiment was not a success. Women are better morally, as evidenced by the criminals in the penitentiaries of California. We have about 3,000 men and only about 30 women. We must therefore admit that women would be a great factor in promoting honesty, equity, and morality if given the ballot. It is argued that all women do not wish to vote. Women, being more faithful to duty, will exercise the right of franchise and do it cheerfully. Besides, their presence on such occasions will make the whole occasion more enjoyable, as well as guaranteeing that everything will be carried on respectably. Women are in touch with public affairs, and none the less womanly, but on the contrary, they are better and more companionable wives, more interesting mothers, because they have a common interest with their sons.
Thank you, gentlemen. You are now allowed to make your closing statements, Mr. Sanford.
Women's suffrage has been proven a failure in states that have tried it. It is wrong. California should profit by the mistakes of other states. Statistics go to show that in most equal suffrage states, Colorado particularly, that divorces have greatly increased since the adoption of equal suffrage amendment, showing that it has been a home destroyer. Crime has also increased due to the lack of mothers in the home. Woman is woman. Let her be content with her lot and perform those high duties intended to her by the great Creator, and she will accomplish far more than by mixing up in the dirty pool of politics. Keep the home pure, and all will be well with the Republic. Let the manly men and the womanly women defeat this amendment and keep women where she belongs in order that she may retain the respect of all mankind. Thank you.
Mr. Cattell, your closing statement.
The time was thought that to allow a girl a high school education would ruin her morals, destroy her religion, impair her health, make her more masculine, and take away her desire to be a good wife and mother. Such theories are long since exploded, and as we have progressed in these matters, let us progress in reference to suffrage. Let us show that the saloon element, the gambling element, the selfish element, for these are the opponents of women's suffrage, that this great state of California is really a progressive state in every way.
Thank you, gentlemen. Now the time has come to put the issue to a vote. All those in favor of women's rights to receive the vote, raise your hand high and say aye.